In 1998, during mission STS-88, NASA astronaut Jerry Ross took this photograph. Official record, STS-088-724-66. NASA's explanation, 3 days later, it's just a thermal blanket, space junk. But this piece of junk is in a polar orbit. It's been there for at least 40 years. And if you decode the signal it sent in 1899, it points to a star system as it looked 13,000 years ago. I'm Void. Welcome to VOIDCAST, July 1899, Colorado Springs. Nikola Tesla is alone in his lab with a 40-meter tower firing 12 million volts into the night sky. He's not trying to talk to aliens. He's trying to send wireless power across the Atlantic. Instead, something talks back. In his Colorado Springs notes, page 47, dated July 3rd, he writes, "I observed a rhythmic repetition of numbers. 1, 2, 3, then a pause. It repeated for nearly an hour. Not natural, not random, not terrestrial." Tesla was convinced it was intelligent. In 1900, he told the American Red Cross, "I believe I have intercepted communication from another planet, from Mars perhaps." The scientific press laughed. The New York Times called it Tesla's Martian fantasy. For 70 years, that was the story. Until November 1967. That's when a 24-year-old graduate student named Jocelyn Bell, working at Cambridge, discovered pulsars. Neutron stars spinning hundreds of times per second, beaming radio waves across space with perfect mathematical rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Repeat. The signal Tesla heard in 1899 matches the exact signature of pulsar CP 1919, discovered 68 years later. So here's the problem. Pulsars weren't discovered until 1967. Radio astronomy didn't exist in 1899. Tesla's equipment shouldn't have been sensitive enough to hear it. And CP 1919 is 1,500 light-years away. So what did Tesla actually hear? And why did it answer back? Fast forward 55 years. May 14th, 1954. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch runs a tiny story on page 12. Aviation Week picks it up. The headline, "Pentagon tracks 2 dark satellites in polar orbit." This is 1954. Sputnik won't launch for 3 more years. America has Project Vanguard, which keeps exploding on the pad. Russia has nothing in orbit. No nation on Earth can reach polar orbit. Requires 30% more fuel, a trajectory we won't master until 1959. Yet NORAD's early warning radar, built to watch for Soviet bombers, is tracking 2 objects. Dark. No reflective surfaces, in a perfect polar orbit, passing over both poles every 104 minutes. Retired Marine Major Donald Kehoe holds a press conference at the Pentagon. He asks directly, "Are we tracking unknown satellites of non-human origin?" The Air Force spokesman answers, "No comment." In 1960, the objects return. This time, the U.S. Navy's Dark Fence radar in the Pacific picks them up. Same orbit, same speed, same darkness. Those files were declassified in 2008 under the Freedom of Information Act. I have them. Pages 12 through 19 are completely blacked out. The exemption code is B1, National Security. What do you redact for 70 years about 2 pieces of space junk? May 15th, 1963. Mercury Atlas 9. Faith 7. Gordon Cooper is alone, on his 22nd and final orbit. He's the last American to fly solo in space. Over Muchea, Australia, ground tracking sees something on radar that shouldn't be there. Muchea Capcom on the recording. Faith 7, we have a bogey with you. Greenish, glowing. Approaching from the east, low trajectory, Cooper, calm as ever. Roger Muchea, I have visual. It's real, definite shape, about 50 meters off my starboard. It paced him for 7 minutes and 23 seconds. Then, Cooper reported, it accelerated. Not like a rocket. Instant. He estimated the speed at well over 20,000 miles per hour. It entered a retrograde orbit, backwards around Earth, and vanished over the Pacific. Cooper reported it immediately after splashdown. The debriefing officer told him, and I quote from Cooper's 1978 UN testimony, "Forget you saw that, son. It never happened." 15 years later, in 1978, Cooper testified to the United Nations. I believe these extraterrestrial vehicles and their crews are visiting this planet from other planets. The Black Knight satellite is one of them. NASA's official response today: we have no record of that transmission. But the Australian tracking station tapes exist. I listened to them, December 11th, 1998. Mission STS-88, Endeavour. The first American mission to build the International Space Station. Astronaut Jerry Ross is on his third EVA, installing a communications antenna. His Hasselblad camera, loaded with Kodak film, is tethered to his chest. Frame number 724, roll 66. He takes a photo of Earth. In the corner, 200 meters off the shuttle's port wing, is something else. NASA releases the photo 3 days later. The internet, still on dial-up, explodes. The object is angular, matte black, at least 30 feet across on its longest axis. It has what look like solar panels, but they're mounted at impossible angles. It's in a stable polar orbit, 98 degrees inclination. NASA's first statement, December 14th. It's a thermal blanket lost during EVA. Second statement, 12 hours later. It's a piece of debris from the shuttle's payload bay. Third statement, December 16th. It's a trunnion pin cover. 3 stories in 48 hours. None of them explain why the same object appears in photos from STS-51 in 1983, STS-33 in 1989, and STS-29 in 1991. None of them explain the polar orbit. None of them explain why, in 2015, NASA reclassified all those photos from unidentified to space debris in their database. The official designation today is space debris. The unofficial name stuck from a 1950s sci-fi writer, The Black Knight. In 1927, a Norwegian electrical engineer named Jørgen Hals was testing shortwave radio. He sent a pulse. 3 seconds later, it came back. Then 8 seconds later. Then 15. Then 20. Long delayed echoes. For 40 years, no one could explain them. In 1973, Scottish researcher Duncan Lunan plotted those delays on graph paper. He didn't see noise. He saw a map. When converted to coordinates, the echoes drew the constellation Boötis. Specifically, they pointed to the star Epsilon Boötis, a binary system 40 light-years away. But not where it is today, where it was 13,000 years ago, accounting for proper motion. Lunan's theory, published in Spaceflight magazine. A probe from Epsilon Boötis arrived in Earth orbit 13,000 years ago. It parked in a polar orbit to map the entire planet. It listens. And when we shout loud enough, like Tesla did, it answers. The scientific community called it pareidolia, seeing faces in clouds, until 2023. The James Webb Space Telescope, during its deep survey, confirmed Epsilon Boötis b has a stable, Earth-mass planet in its habitable zone, exactly where Lunan's 13,000-year-old map pointed. Coincidence? Maybe. July 26, 2023. U.S. House Oversight Committee, UAP hearing. David Grush, former National Reconnaissance Office officer, under oath. The United States government is in possession of non-human craft. Some are ancient in origin. Some have been here for thousands of years, in orbit, dormant. The official transcript released to the public has 47 redactions. Page 19, line 8, reads, "Redacted probes in polar orbit predating human spaceflight, designated redacted." They won't say Black Knight. They don't have to. NASA's current position, as of March 2026, on their official UAPFAQ page. We have found no credible evidence of the so-called Black Knight satellite, which is technically true. Because in 2015, they changed the classification. It's no longer unidentified. It's debris. No evidence if you rename it first. The photos are still public. The radar logs are still declassified. The tapes still exist. You decide. So is it a blanket? Is it debris? Or is it a 13,000-year-old watcher that Tesla heard, that Cooper saw, that NASA photographed, and then explained away 3 different times? I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm telling you to look at the photos yourself. They're public. STS 088-724-66. Next week on VOIDCAST, the WOW signal. We found the exact star it came from and why no one's gone back to look. I'm Void. Stay curious